Welcome to On Writing with Onkarabile, the show that is aiming to promote reading and writing in our communities. We seek to restore pride and dignity of Africans through the power of reading and writing. Ladies and gentlemen, if it's your first time to watch the show, please don't forget to subscribe to Nolu Unlimited Multimedia. Today we have revivalist Njabulo Mngomezulu, who is going to share more on publishing process. Mr. Mngomezulu, thank you so much, sir, for coming.
I greet you, my sir, and I greet the viewers at home, and I thank you for the opportunity to be here to share my experience and also my expertise.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Let's start with knowing you. Who is Mr. Mngomezulu?
Okay, Mr. Mngomezulu. In fact, Mr. Njabulo Mngomezulu is from Bethel. That's where I was raised. Born, bred and buttered. That's what they say.
Yes.
Bethel. Then, by profession, I'm a pastor. I'm now currently at Fijian School. That's where I'm minister. I'm also a speaker, a publisher as well. I have a publishing company, Fizo Publishing Company, and I'm also an author of 5 books now.
Okay.
Yes.
Please mention the names of the books.
The first book is The Violent One, Take It by Force. That one is more about persistence. Then the second book is Why My Life Doesn't Change, which is more about answering that question. If you want to understand why your life is not changing, then is the book. And then the third one is Yes You Can. It's about self-esteem, development, and self-confidence. Then the fourth one is Heal and Move On, Part 1, which I think is more focused on healing relationships, marriages, and making sure that you find a space to let go of the past and move on with your life. Then I'm currently busy with the Heal and Move On Part 2 now as I'm speaking to you.
Oh, nice. Yes. So, Mr. Mngomezulu, in that same note, as an author of 5 books, and others are coming, and also you have a publishing house. If someone is watching the show now, and this person is writing a book, or is having an idea of writing a book, but they're asking themselves, okay, after writing, what then?
What's the next step?
How do I do, or how do I make sure that, I have a book like Onkarabile is having a book.
A hard copy.
Calling it a book,
Yes.
Able to put it on the shelves, on the bookshelves, exclusive, whatever.
Yes.
What is the first step?
The first step is understanding that writing and authorship are 2 different things.
Okay.
Writing is the first step. There are many writers. We write. And when you write, when you are developing your writing process, that is what we call, when I get your writing process or your development of the scriptures, that is what I call the manuscript. So the second step is to publish. However, you cannot publish manuscripts because they've got a lot of mistakes.
Okay.
So that's where we go through the publishing process. The publishing process is like purification of gold.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, that's how I can put it.
Okay.
We know that you cannot just take raw gold and use it. It has to go through the purification process, the fire.
As much as it is valuable, but you can't just take it and say, hey.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It has to be purified.
Yes.
Then it becomes even more valuable.
Exactly.
Than it was when it was raw.
Yes.
So, manuscript, they are good. You have written your book. However, the publishing process, now we have to clean your writing process, meaning removing every mistake that have been made and been made during the process, and make sure that your book becomes a quality that it must be.
Okay.
Yes.
And then when you talk about purification, you talk about editing, proofreading,
yes,
typesetting and layout, and the book cover design.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let us talk about editing and also proofreading. How is it important for me to take your book to the publisher to edit my work? Can't I edit my work myself or proofread myself?
No, you can do that.
Okay.
You can edit yourself, you can proofread yourself. But the issue here is you can barely see your mistakes yourself.
That's correct.
Because you read from your own perspective.
Yes.
And from your own understanding.
That's true.
But if someone goes through the book, they might see what you don't see. For instance, I read a lot of books that have been published, but I can tell you, I still find mistakes. I'm talking about books on a professional level, books that have been edited over and over again, but I still find mistakes. So imagine if your book is not edited. How many mistakes could be, in fact, could be revealed, in fact, from your manuscript. So it's very important. The editing process is it's like purification, as I said. We deal with the context of the book, the part of spelling errors, because when you write, there are some spelling errors that you normally commit. You might not see them. I've written, as we've spoken, 5 books, but before the publishing process, there are some books that I went through them again, and I could see that, okay, I'm done writing, but I still have a lot of mistakes. I will edit and still find mistakes. I'll reread the books maybe 2 to 3 times and still find mistakes. So, but once taken to the editor, he deals more with making sure that all those mistakes are removed and the book becomes professional. I'm also an editor, but I don't edit my work because I understand how important editing is.
Exactly.
Yes. You cannot correct yourself.
Yes, no.
You need other people to correct you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So proofreading is also about that. After you have done with the editing process, we go to the other processes as well, the layout, the registration and the book cover. But the final, before your manuscripts are ready, the final process, which is called proofreading. That means we go back to your book over and over again. Your book is not read by only one person. Now it has to go through different people so that they can read and see if there are not mega mistakes in the book. Okay. Because if your book has too much mistakes, that might compromise its quality in the future.
No, very true.
Yes.
In that same note, we had a project last year, which you were one of them.
Yes.
Where we were helping authors to submit their books to Gauteng Department of Education.
Yes,
and we submitted about 30 books, and 20 were submitted, 10 were rejected.
Okay.
And when we got the feedback, one of the reasons was the grammatical errors. It means that there was lack of editing in those books.
Yes.
So you can see how serious, important it is that someone has lost the big project.
Yes.
Of making it as an author, of having your book being read in school libraries across Joburg, and not only that, even getting an income from that.
Yes.
Profit from that, So the person has lost because of the editing perspective, aspect. So I agree with you that it's really important as an author, as a writer, to take your book to other people to edit for you.
I also want to emphasize something. I know some authors can do it. You can edit your book as well. I can do it.
Yes.
I can do it. But please, it's more relevant to find someone else.
Exactly.
Because I'm going to emphasize, you cannot rectify yourself.
Yeah. No, not
you
true.
do need someone to rectify you.
Yes.
Even if you are an intellectual, we respect it.
Yeah.
But you need someone to go through it and see if there are not some mistakes that you are leaving out that might compromise your work in the future. Like you were saying, some books were rejected. If they were thoroughly edited, we'll be speaking a different story right now. The author will be happy,
yes,
and satisfied.
Yes.
But now, there's some kind of stagnation, that's what I can say, because of minor mistakes that could have been rectified or corrected in the beginning. So it's very important that you make sure that the editing process is not overlooked, but it is thoroughly done.
No, I agree. You mentioned something earlier about registering your book.
Yes.
Please let us understand that process of your book being registered? Why must your book be registered, and where must it be registered to?
Okay, so when you bring your book over, we forward your details so that your book must be registered with the National Library, and then you are going to get the ISBN, which is International Standard Book Number, which is a proof that your book, is recognized. In fact, it's very important that your book is recognized by the legal government of the country, and also to make sure that they approve that there is a book by this title and also by this author, so that there might not be some kind of illegal dealings. Because we know nowadays it happens that many authors, they complain. They come complain that someone has stolen my book and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the registration helps a lot with that, because if your book is registered, if someone steals your book, obvious, we are going to find out because it is in the register. So if they come with your book and then your book is not registered, then it's not going to be easy for you, to make sure that everything happens accordingly, or you make them, pay for their mistakes of stealing or scamming your book.
Exactly.
So you must have an ISBN number which proves that your book is legal, is registered. In case anything happens, you are on the safe side.
You're on the safe side.
Yes.
Now, tell me, Mr. Mngomezulu, when you guys provide such services, as a writer, is there any fee that I must take out?
Yeah, I think that's very, very important.
Yes.
On that note, yes, there are fees, in fact, for all the services that we've mentioned. All the services we've mentioned, there are fees. However, I just want to explain something very important. I think we need to clarify the difference between traditional publishing and also self-publishing, so that people can understand the difference between the two. So when it comes to self-publishing, you get to own your copyright, your work. That means the company, you pay the company for the services that they offer, and then after they've done with their services, then you get to own your book, and then you make your own copies and sell your book. The company doesn't sell the books for you.
Okay.
So if someone is asking, I want to publish the book, is the company, because I get a lot of questions, especially from young authors. What does your package entails? If I publish with you, are you going to market or sell my book? Okay, so self-publishing, we publish your book, but after that, it is your responsibility as an author to stretch yourself out and make sure that your book is out there. Yeah. You don't depend on the company to do that for you. Okay, but it doesn't mean, I personally support authors and work with them, but you don't get that anywhere. It's very rare to get a publishing house who is helping self-published authors to stretch their abilities in terms of marketing and selling their books. So that's why it's important as an author to make sure that you are stretching your abilities and make sure that your book is out there.
So what if I'm a writer, I have this brilliant idea, but I don't have the fees to actually go and pay for those services?
Okay, there are two options, as I said. There's also the traditional route, publishing as well. For those who comes forward and say, I'd like to publish my book, however, there are no fees on the table. What should I do? Then we look at your case and we see. However, when it comes to traditional publishing, there are some terms and conditions that you need to understand very well before you jump in. Don't rush to jump in. You need to understand what is traditional publishing. So traditional publishing is all you approach the publishing agency, and then when they take your manuscripts, they go through them and then they see if your book has potential to go out there and because in fact to be more frank about this, traditional publishing is more about making sales than publishing. They are more concerned about making sales.
It's business.
It's business about your book.
Yeah.
So when we publish the book, that means we own your book, and then we pay you royalties, which is something like 10 to 15.
Yes.
Something that you spoke about.
Yeah.
It's like tithe. I only give you a small percentage of what you actually deserve, actually. Which is I don't think is more relevant.
No,
Yes.
not at all.
So I will encourage, I will recommend, personally I would recommend that authors go for self-publishing. Because self-publishing, after you publish your book, you get to you put your price and you get to get your full commission.
And Mr. Mngomezulu, just let us clarify this. Your Mfiso Publishing Consultancy.
Yes.
You also provide the traditional route.
Yes, I also do traditional publishing as well.
Okay.
Yes, I think I've done that with two authors as well.
Okay. And you give them contract to sign.
There's a contract to sign. You come forward, and then there's a contract to sign. But we don't force anyone to sign. You sign willingly.
Yeah, it's always important to read the contract
it's
first.
important to read
Yeah.
The contract very well, so that tomorrow you might not say, no, but you didn't tell me this, but it was written down in the contract.
Exactly.
And then you say, no, you didn't tell me this, but it's written down.
And Mr. Mngomezulu, as you are saying this thing comes into my mind.
Yes.
People, I think we must be fair as people. That,
Yes.
You explain it very well that there is a traditional route and also self-publishing route. We need to be honest to ourselves.
Yes.
If I, Onkarabile, come to Mfiso Publishing Consultancy, I don't have money. I need to know that Mfiso Publishing Company will edit the book for me.
Yes.
Will proofread, will market, will register for me.
Yes.
This takes money
Yes.
to do it.
It's not for free.
It's not for free. As much as I don't take out money myself as Onkarabile.
Yes.
But you, Mfiso, you are paying for editing.
those services.
Yeah, there is money that is coming out, not from me,
Yes.
but from you.
Yes.
So I need to have that thing in mind as Onkarabile. That when you guys give me 10%, as much as it is a very small percentage,
But we have done everything.
but you have done everything for me, you also need to get your money back.
Yeah.
Mr. Mngomezulu, I think we need to be honest to ourselves.
Yes.
That, as much as you have explained that the traditional way and also the publishing, when it comes to the traditional way, we need to understand that as much as you give me that 10% of every sale of my book, I need to understand that the process that you guys have done,
Yes.
it takes money to do
Yes.
it. You don't do it for free.
We pay for all
You
those
pay
services,
for all those services
ourselves.
yourselves.
Yeah.
As much as I didn't take any cent from me.
Yes, then
But-
you get to get your book, but
Exactly.
we pay for all the services.
Exactly.
From the first one, which is editing,
Proofreading.
interior design, book cover. You don't get to pay a
Any
cent.
cent.
You only get the commission, which is the royalty
Yes.
that comes at the end of the day. Yes.
And I get also exposure. You guys
Yes.
take me to radios, to TVs, because marketing is also on you. The promotion
Yes.
is also on you.
Yes.
So I need to know that takes money, that takes time, that takes effort.
Exactly.
So you guys need also to be compensated when it comes to that.
Yes.
So I think it's one of the things that when, as a writer, I get into to sign that contract, I need to have that thing in mind, so that next time when I complain, but I know that you guys have done your part.
Yes.
You know.
Because there's nothing for free.
It's nothing for free.
There's nothing for free. Yeah, when you go to the self-publishing part, there you have all the right to complain because
Yes.
you've paid.
You've paid.
You've paid
Yes,
yourself.
exactly.
But when we come to traditional publishing, we've done everything. That's why we give you royalties
Yes.
as your compensation
Exactly.
for the work done by you, which was writing. But I believe 90% of the production process is done by the company,
Yes. Yes.
including marketing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you do nothing.
You do nothing. You just
That's
came up
why-
with an idea.
Yeah, you just came with an idea and you are getting paid for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you must be happy.
But when it comes to self-publishing, things are different.
Yeah.
There you stretch yourself out and then you go out there and make sure that you take full responsibility for the sales of your book.
Yes. You know, I really want to agree with you that I think also self-publishing is the way to go.
Yes.
You know, yes, we understand that it's not everyone who will be able to pay the fees. But if possible, don't rush, you know.
Exactly.
Gather little by little the fees that are needed. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it. So I agree with you that self-publishing, I will recommend self-publishing also.
Yes, I also did my research on my Facebook. It took me close to 3 years to publish my self-book. Because after having done my research, I saw that there was traditional publishing, which I was not interested in. And there was also self-publishing, which I was interested in. So I knew that if I wanted to publish my book and own my book, I had to work for it.
Yes.
So it took me some years, but it became a reality at the end of the day. So for authors to understand, it might take some time. But if you are committed enough, you'll get there.
You'll get there.
Yes,
Yeah.
step by step.
Yeah.
Day after day, you are doing something. You are doing something towards your dream. One of the days you'll reach it, and you'll self-publish your book.
So, Mr. Mngomezulu, you know, if people want to get hold of you just to, you know, maybe get your books or rather actually get your services from Mfiso Publishing Consultancy, where can they get hold of you?
Okay, they can email me on mfisopublishers@gmail.com or WhatsApp 072-196-1702. Also available on calls. I'm also available on Facebook as Prophetic Revivalist Njabulo Mngomezulu, and also on Instagram as Njabulo Mngomezulu.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming to the show.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching On Writing with Onkarabile, the show that is aiming to promote reading and writing in our communities. Please do subscribe to Nolu Unlimited Multimedia, share and like the interview.